area? Well, if you haven't, you're in luck. So roaming reporter Ed Smith has been along to Brantmore Woods in West Acre to find out what this mysterious fairy fair is all about.
Listen to the bird song. I've come to almost the middle of nowhere. You'd think it by looking at it, but actually just a few miles outside Narborough, just west of Swaffham, I am deep down in the woods looking for fairies. It might be my biggest challenge yet on BBC Radio Norfolk. But if I'm going to see them anywhere, it is at the Fairy Fair, getting underway this Sunday. It is run by the Fairyland Trust, and it's a charity. Its founder is Sarah Wise, who joins me in the woods. Good afternoon, Sarah.
Hello, Ed.
It's absolutely lovely to be here, because as we come out of the woods and we'll start walking, already in this clearing here, you're setting up tents, huge multicoloured rainbow, like almost circus tents. Over here, you've got places to take your photos. We've got fairy and elf training, storytelling, fairy gardens, bees, everything you can imagine, and it really stretches out, doesn't it? We'll come on to that, but first I think it's important to know what the Fairyland Trust does.
Sure, well, the Fairyland Trust is a charity based in Norfolk, and we aim to try and connect families with young children with nature, but through storytelling, folklore, theatre, dressing up, just basically having a really fun time in a slightly more magical way. So that's our purpose, and the Fairy Fair is a kind of showcase of what we can do with plenty of our activities and workshops that we've got on here.
Yeah, you've been doing it for a few years now, haven't you? And this is the setup there. It already looks impressive, but I imagine when you've got people coming here, it really comes alive.
Oh, certainly, yes, because at the moment we're going to have obviously flags going down the lawn here. We've got the performance tent at the end where we're going to be having some really great bands, the Moonshiners, Showhawk Duo, fantastic band coming all the way from the southwest. So there's lots of music here on site, but there's also all these beautiful magical workshops that we'll be running. So, for instance, in this rainbow tent, we'll be making wildflower crowns out of willow withies and leaves, and they can make tissue paper wildflowers. Loads of children and adults make those.
I was going to say, it's the adults as well, isn't it?
Absolutely, yeah. And likewise, we've got these other drop-in workshops happening that are going to be running throughout the day. They can make like a bumblebee, and they can make a butterfly, or they can make a bug, like bug bling to wear. And then over there we've got the Fairy Queen's Garden, which we'll be setting up soon.
Lots of lovely bunting there as well.
Yeah, next to the stage, as you said, where people can dress up and take their pictures. And so, yes, in the Fairy Queen Garden, it's like a sort of model wildlife garden, what people can do at home to help nature. So a lot of our workshops will be, teaching children quite fairly straightforward things that they can do at home to help nature.
So it's all about connecting with nature, isn't it? And to get people interested, it has to have that fun element, doesn't it?
Well, definitely. We knew, especially when my own children were little, between sort of 3 and 8, that, they all young children have this fascination with fairies and magic and enchantment and that sort of thing, and it's often a sort of doorway, sort of a gateway into nature. They associate it with wild woods and meadows, so that was a sort of original connection, especially with all the stories. And we just thought it was a nice way to blend teaching about nature with a more of a kind of a festival feel.
Yeah, absolutely. I think being down here in the woods, it's an obvious thing, but sometimes we need reminding, don't we, that actually connecting with nature, being in the woods, after a busy week, it is a wonderful way. It does just have a great impact on your well-being, and how important that is to teach that at such an early age.
Yeah, it's just a really fabulous day out for the whole family. It's a kind of event you can bring your mum and dad, or you can bring your grandchildren. There's something for everyone. We've got a really nice cafe. The Corncockle Cafe is just going up over there, selling lovely tea and cake. We've even got the Good Elf Pub, selling some fine ales. We've got the Pixie Post Office over there, where children can colour in a postcard and they can send it to friends and family back at home. And like you say, we've got other workshops like elf training, which I think we've still got some places still for sale for elf training.
You sound like that you're pointing that at me as if I need I know, I'm short enough.
You know, everyone could do with a bit of elf training. So yeah, and that's where children can learn, you know, all the magic ways of elves whilst exploring these lovely old oak woods over there.
Yeah, I mean, that really is into the thick of the oak woods in there, isn't it? And more magic. What is it like? I mean, you're the founder, and the whole mission statement is to get children into nature and explore it with the Fairyland Trust. What has it been like for you over the years to see people turning out here, people leaving, hopefully with lots of smiles on their faces?
Yeah, well, we do get amazing repeat visitors. I mean, we've been going over 20 years now, and we've moved around Norfolk. We've had these fairy fairs at different venues. We've been here since about 2019, and now, of course, you know, 20 years on, we've got people coming back who were children at the first fairy fair, and they're bringing their children back to this one. So, like I say, it's got like this multi-generational appeal, and some of our own crew children are now here today helping build this whole set, and we'll be running some of the workshops. So it definitely goes on, and we get lovely feedback. You know, for instance, say if you make a fairy garden, you actually get real wildflower plants to take home, and they plant them in their own garden, and we've had feedback and pictures of people saying like how that's actually spread. So that's direct habitat creation there and then. So we know it works, and children come up to us, like they'll make a bumblebee over in that workshop, and they take it to the garden, and you know, they already know how to identify it. They know it's like a red-tailed bumblebee or a white-tailed, but they're still having a lovely time. They've still basically got something really nice to make, really nice to play with. So it's not too preachy, it's not too sanctimonious. It's really about getting them to enjoy it all.
Absolutely. It sounds like you've got the right thing going on here. Starts on Sunday then. Can people still come along if they haven't got tickets already?
Yes, we've still got some tickets to sell for Sunday, more for Monday, but they do go quite quickly, so we really recommend getting them online beforehand. We sell up to 10 o'clock up on Saturday night for Sunday, and then obviously 10 o'clock for the following day. So yes, the sooner they get online and get a ticket, then they're guaranteed to get in. You know, we don't always have them available on the gate, and they do go slightly up in price the nearer it gets. So definitely recommend going to fairylandtrust.org to get their tickets now.
Well, Sarah Wise from these beautiful woods, Bradmore Woods, just outside Narborough, founder of the Fairyland Trust. It's a wonderful thing to get back to nature, and we're doing it right now. Listen to those bird songs to get you into the weekend. Sarah, thank you so much.
My pleasure, thank you.
Oh, it sounds beautiful, doesn't it? Ed, Sarah, thank you both very, very much. Gosh, it's a busy show today.